Okay, so if you are an APM apprentice, you've probably heard the term K10, and maybe your brain starts to fizz a little bit. Don't worry, you're in the right place. We're about to make it all make sense. We're going to follow an apprentice named Jody as she goes from being totally lost about the business case to using it like a pro, and you're going to get there right along with her.
So, meet Jody. She's a level 4 APM apprentice at IBIS Stores. And let's be honest, she's feeling completely overwhelmed. All these terms, business case, benefits, EPA evidence, they can feel like a foreign language, totally disconnected from your day-to-day job. But here's the thing. What if there was a simple way to see how they all fit together?
All right, here's our game plan. We're going to follow Jody's quest to figure this all out. We'll introduce a really powerful analogy, the project's GPS. Then we'll see her navigate a real-world project detour, figure out how to capture the evidence for her portfolio, and finally, how to absolutely crush it at the endpoint assessment. Jody's journey starts right at the beginning. You see, before you can even think about maintaining a business case, you've got to understand what the heck it even is, and more importantly, why it's so much more than just some document that gets filed away and forgotten. And this is the big one, isn't it? The question that's probably on your mind too. We see this document floating around, we hear it mentioned in meetings, but what's its actual job? Why does it even exist, especially after the project has already gotten the green light? So here's the official textbook definition. It's the formal justification for a project. But what does that really mean in plain English? Think of it as the project's original sales pitch. It's the document that convinced the people with the money to say yes by laying out all the value, the costs, and the risks involved.
Okay, lean in, because this is the absolute heart of K10. This is the part so many people miss. The business case isn't a one-and-done thing. It's a living, breathing guide. It is your project's North Star. Every single major decision, every change you think about making, should be held up against this document to make sure you're still delivering the value you promised.
Now, this next part is where it all started to click for Jody. Her mentor, Adam, shared this fantastic analogy that completely changed the game. It took the business case from being this boring, static document and turned it into a dynamic, super useful tool for her project.
Adam just laid it out this simply. He said, think of it like a GPS for your project. It makes so much sense, right? A project is a journey. You know where you want to end up, but you are guaranteed to hit some traffic, some roadblocks, some unexpected detours. Your business case is the GPS that keeps you pointed in the right direction no matter what pops up.
And check this out. This is brilliant. It breaks that whole analogy down. So your GPS destination? Well, that's the project's benefits, the value you're supposed to deliver. The current route is your project plan and scope. Those annoying traffic alerts that pop up? That's your risk and issue management, warning you about trouble ahead. And rerouting? That's just your change control process, helping you find a new way forward without losing sight of your final destination.
Okay, so now that she has this GPS idea in her head, Jody has a super clear 5-step path to build her K10 skills. And honestly, this is the exact blueprint you can follow. First, you understand it. Then you learn to identify it in the wild. You apply it to a real task, justify your decisions using it, and finally, you reflect on what you did. It's that simple. All right, enough with the theory. It's time to put this into practice. Jody's about to hit some real-world project traffic, a situation that's going to force her to actually use her project's GPS for the very first time. So, picture this. Everything's going great on her project, running smoothly, and then, bam, an email pops up. It's from Riddle, her manager over in marketing, and she has a brand new, fantastic idea.
So, Riddle is all fired up about this new social media feature. Now, the old Jody, she might have just said yes to keep her manager happy, or maybe just a flat no because it wasn't in the plan. But the new, tech-savvy Jody knows she has a much better tool for this.
And right here, this is the fork in the road. It sounds like a great idea, but does it actually help the project get to its destination? Or is it just a scenic detour that's going to cost time and money they don't have? Jody knows exactly what to do. She needs to check her GPS, the business case.
So what does she do? She pulls out her GPS check. She's not just asking, can we do this? She's asking the smart questions. How does this affect our original benefits? What's the hit to the budget and the timeline? Does it add new risks? She's using the business case to have an intelligent conversation and protect the project's real value.
So Jody's done the hard work, she's assessed the change. But as you know, if you're an apprentice, that's only half the story, right? Now she has to prove it. She has to create rock-solid evidence for her portfolio in Aptum.
This is where her coach, Olivia, steps in with some gold-plated advice. She says, "Great work is invisible to an assessor until you document it. An assessor can't read your mind. Jody has to show her work. Create a paper trail that makes her thinking process completely visible."
And this right here is your recipe for success. It's a simple 4-step process. First, you assess the change. Then, you document it in something formal, like a change log. Step 3 is the magic ingredient. You annotate it. You literally draw on it, highlight it, and point out where you were using your K10 skills. And finally, you reflect in apptem, explaining what you did and why it mattered.
Okay, you might want to screenshot this one. This is basically your assessor's cheat sheet for K10 evidence. This is exactly what they're looking for. They want to see you get the purpose of the business case, that you can link it to real project stuff like change control, and that you used evidence to back up what you're saying.
All right, it's time to talk about the final boss, the endpoint assessment. But here's the cool part. By doing all this work, Jody hasn't just been creating portfolio evidence, she's been building a library of real stories and experiences she can pull from to confidently answer anything that comes her way.
So an assessor asks this, give an example of a change request. Could Jody answer this? Oh, you bet she could. She's got the story of Riddle's request locked and loaded. She can walk them through her entire GPS check, step by step, explaining how she analyzed the impact on benefits, costs, and risks. No problem. What about this one? How did you help protect the project's benefits? Easy. She can talk about how her analysis of Riddle's idea wasn't about just saying no. It was about protecting the original destination. It was about making sure the team stayed focused on delivering the value promised in the business case from day one.
And one more. How did the business case influence decisions? Again, she's not just reciting a definition from a textbook. She's telling a real story about a real decision. The business case wasn't some theoretical document. It was the actual tool she used to make a recommendation about scope, time, and cost. She's speaking from experience.
So there you have it. We've followed Jody's whole journey, from totally confused to completely confident. The business case is no longer some scary abstract thing. It's your project's GPS, a powerful, practical tool. You've got the map now. The only question is, how are you going to use your project's GPS on your next journey?